All right, let's talk about one of the many things these screw ups got wrong with version 20 here. Um, why they would waste programming time on crap like this is beyond me. Uh, they call this an advanced generated random gen world. This is a joke. This is an 8K map. The only options you really have here, you only have three options, and that's how much water's on the map, towns, and wilderness POI. So you got few, none, default, many. Wilderness POI is the same way, and their idea of many is a joke, as you'll see. And you have the height map options. You have no control over the biomes. Their cities are garbage. This is an 8K map, and look at those tiny blocks. They're not tiny, actually. They're super spread out. So you got a bunch of dead space in the middle of what they call cities. You have no real control of the biomes, how big they are, where they're at. This is just a pathetic attempt at map creation. And God knows how much time they spent on this joke of a map creation when there's tools out there that do it 1,000 times better, that I'm sure will be available for 20, because this is garbage. This AK world isn't big enough for me to play single player. I certainly wouldn't hop on a map like this with 3 or 4 players. There's not enough cars in this world to even get enough significant resources out of to do much with. I mean, I like to build in this game. But it took 10 minutes to generate this piece of crap map. And I'm playing one right now just to see what it's like, and I'll probably go the first 7 days in it, but you know, this map alone, this ain't worth playing on for me. I wouldn't waste any time on this. I'll go back to 19.5 and play it until the people who actually know how to build map generators make theirs available, because this is garbage. I don't have Kingen installed. Let me show you what nitrogen has for options. They got the size, you know, and you can. I usually play an 8K map. You can't play. I would like to play something at least 1.5 times, not twice that big. But I got 32 gig in this machine, and they screwed up the memory so bad on the last update. 8K is about all I can run with 32 gigabyte of memory. But this is nitrogen. This is a precursor of Kingen, which has even more options than this. And you have, you know, so much more control. How much flat land you got. You know, mountains, desert, what kind of biomes you got, the smoothing, the flatland style, what kind of biomes you want on a map, the border biome, whether north-south is, you know, organized or not. The roads, the road type, the road condition, the same water and cracks options. But there's cities. You can either have one in the city, in every city, traders, or you know, none in the cities. I usually do none in the cities, but I'll select lots of traders, and I'll show you how many traders that gives you. Where your traders are going to be located, I usually put them near a town, city. Instead of just many, you got lots. I set everything to very large, city size, lots of towns, town size, lots of farms, lots of rednecks, lots of old towns, lots of outback POIs, mountain huts, extra car lots. I like the 2-lane highways that run through the map. It kind of gives you a better judge on where you're at in the quadrants on the map. Custom towns. You can add different prefabs or just go with vanilla. You have total control on the landscape, setting the landscape. And this takes like 8 minutes to generate instead of 10 minutes for their crappy map. So, and to compare those two maps, one made with this, now I would load this and do a flyover to demonstrate, but just take a look at those cities. What do you see there? You see about what? 6 square blocks in a city, and the outside ones are residentials, and they're far apart, lots of dead space in between. And there's going to be little POIs out in those dead spaces, but you're not going to find a lot of cars on this map. Even if you run a car regen mod, you have to cover this entire map to what you would normally get in a day walking doing cars and the kind of maps that I make. Let me show you a map. I'm playing a 19.5 right now. That's all cities. And you look at those cities and you're seeing, 3, 4 POIs in a block. Some of them have 2, a lot of them have 3, some of them have 4, close POIs together. And those blocks are much smaller, so these cities are much more dense. You can go through, your base right here, right outside here, it'd take you a good 2 days just to go through that city, just driving up and down the roads and getting cars if you're harvesting cars, or hitting stuff that's wide out in the open, easy pickings, not really going through POIs. That's the maps that I play with multiple people, and I mean this is the maps that I play solo. Their maps, there's gonna be like 5 or 6 traders on that map that I generated theirs, because they only got 1 trader per city. This map, just in this one quadrant here, you got these little pink dots are traders. So you got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 9 traders there in that one quadrant. A little smaller than a quadrant. There's like 24 traders on this map. That's a map, and that was created with nitrogen in 2 minutes less time than what took them to create their little crappy map. With maybe, their whole map doesn't have this many POIs on it. Their entire 8K map doesn't have that many because it's all spread out. So you know what, Thumb Pimps, why don't you save your programming time for the people who actually know what they're doing and can write good code and make good maps, because that was a waste of time, an absolute waste of time. How much that 18 months was spent on a map generator that generates crap maps. If hopefully Kingen will update their map generator, because You know, otherwise I'll just stay on 19.5. I really see nothing in 20 so far that makes me say, oh, I gotta play 20. There's nothing but crap. The new stuff is crap. Junk weapons, a stupid drone that nobody asked for. This isn't Fallout. This isn't Empyrean. You know, this is supposed to be primitive. You know, if I want to play something with drones, I'll play something a little less primitive. It's just stupid. I don't see any point even having a drone in there. You know, at least going from 18 to 19, suffering with the stone tools that you got to suffer with for, you know, the first 2 weeks of game time. That was bad enough, but at least you got extra vehicles. You know, that's some motivation for going to 19. But you got nothing in this. It's, you know, there are some good things about this update, like the new shapes you got, a lot more new building shapes. I like that. Being able to put mods in vehicles, which, you know, you've had that since what, version 17, and slots for them, and you just get around making 5 new mods that you can actually put in a vehicle now. That's kind of nice. Would have been nice in 17, 18, and 19 too, but you know, you were too busy screwing up the game in 17 to do cool stuff like that. So anyway, I'll play this. So far I see a lot of things I don't like about it, and I've just got one session in, probably an hour and a half of playing, and so far I've found like one trader within walking distance, and cities that are, I wouldn't even call them towns, much less cities. They're just spread out full of nothing. Yeah, some POIs there, but nothing dense, nothing I couldn't go through completely through in a matter of 3 or 4 game days in the entire city. I just, you know, this whole map generation thing is just so typical of those guys. They give us 18 months to give us this update, and as usual, you know, a good portion of it is garbage. You know, why even waste your time building something like this when you got developers out there that are doing it 1,000 times better, and nobody's going to use this piece of crap anyway. I mean, I'll go back to 19.5 until Kingen comes out with a map generation for this version that actually puts a decent number of POIs on the map, with enough controls on biomes and stuff that I want to play in, to make it playable for me. Now, this isn't even worth playing as far as I'm concerned. This is my only option. I just quit playing the game. So I'll go back to 19.5, but they'll come out with a better one, and there's other things. If you're watching that playthrough, there's other things that I really hate about this update, but those will be fixed with mods from the user community too, like they always are when these guys screw up, like they always do. So anyway, it's my biggest complaint on it thus far. See you later.